Hello, my name is Julie and this is KS Mom Crochets, and today is Crochet Podcast number 33. So before I get started showing you what I've been working on, I did want to show this happy mail that I received, and this came all the way from Australia, and I did open this and I tried to tie it back, but she did such a better job at tying that than I did. But this came from Litsa, and she lives in Australia. She also has a YouTube channel. It's called Coco's Crochet. So definitely go and check her out. I will have her channel linked in the description box below. She's a new podcaster, but I am really enjoying her content so far. But I just wanted to show this really quick. She did send me this, it's upside down, ain't it? Yep. She did send me this magnet that says Sydney on it. I don't know if it's going to show up. So she did send me this magnet, and then she also sent me two coasters that say Australia. And I just want to say thank you so much, Litsa, for sending me these things. I appreciate it so much, and I am so excited to use them. And I will think of you every time I see them. So like I said, please go and check out her channel. I really think you'll like it over there. So I am going to go ahead and get started because I have quite a few finished objects. I didn't have a podcast last week because last week was Spirit Week. And I did a video every day showing you something that I had finished. And if you haven't seen the Spirit Week videos, be sure and go and check them out. I will have my playlist linked in the description box as well. So my first finished object, I'm going to start with this. So my first finished object is a gnome, and this is the owl gnome. And I just love him. I think he is so adorable. So this pattern is by LucyMagicPattern on Etsy, the little owl gnome. I did use the body of Pampino gnomes. I just prefer her body pattern, so I did have to adjust the hat to fit this gnome because I think on this hat you increase up to like 78, and I just increased up to 60, gradually increased up to 60, and I probably could have went a little bit, it's got some fuzz on it, I probably could have went a little bit smaller with my increases because the hat was a little bit too big still, but I just love him. I gave him a little gray beard, and I really like how his face turned out on the hat. And here's the back side. And so this is my little owl gnome. So I used a 2.5 millimeter hook, and I used a whole mishmash of different yarns that I had because I did not have the colors that I needed in one certain yarn brand. So I did mix up my yarn brands. So I used Drops Love You 7 and number 4, which is dark gray, and then I used number 2, which is black, and then I used white, and I think that might be color number 1. I'm not sure. I didn't write that one down, but I did use the white here and here, so you just need a little bit of white. And then I used Hobie Rainbow 84 in the color 39, which is purple, in the color 82, which is ochre yellow. Ochre yellow. My hick's coming out. And then I used number 57 in the color orange. And then I used Shepier's Katona Cotton in the color Shell, which is number 255. So I did mix a lot of different yarn brands. The Hobie Rainbow 84 and the Drops Love You 7 are both considered a number 1. So that is why that I used the 2.5 millimeters, because I was afraid that my stuffing would show through this darker yarn. I don't prefer to use that hook size, but I still enjoyed making him. And all those yarns that I used, they worked really well together. So this is what I made. So that is finished object number 1. So my next finished object is the Pine Tree Cottage. This pattern is by Jaworksi. It is a free pattern on her blog, and I just love it. I love it so much. This was really easy to make. I used a 4mm hook on this, and I used Red Heart Super Saver in the color Patty Green, and then I used Big Twist in the color Cream for the window there, white for the snow, and then this brown is called Chocolate Brown, and then this red sparkly for the door is that Red Heart Holiday in the color Red Red. And I am just so happy with how this turned out. I did buy these little pom-poms. They're like sparkly pom-poms from Walmart for less than, I think they were less than $2 for this big old bag, and they come in all different sizes. And I did hot glue all of those on, and then I also got these adhesive gems from Walmart. They were like $1, I think, and I hot glued those on. And then this stuff right here is called Rick Rack, and that one is just plain white in it. I think it was a couple dollars for that, and I had plenty left over of just the plain white. I don't have the plain white in here with me. I had never heard of Rick Rack before, but I will talk about that when I show my next project. But I am very, very happy with how this turned out. I could have done a better job to hide that, like where you can see that seam there. I might need to go back and tack those windows down a little bit better. And then I did use one of the little gems to look like a doorknob. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. And this is what the back side looks like. Now this Rick Rack is kind of hard to manipulate, I guess. Like, I got it to lay down flat. I had to do it gradually, but I did not do a good job about spacing it out. I wanted it to look like garland, I guess, is what I was going for, because the one that the original pattern, hers just has a few little beads all over. It's more plain, and I wanted mine to be a little bit more dressed up, I guess. And I had a lot of fun decorating it. It was fun. My daughter helped me decide how to do them. And I just think that it turned out so cute. So I hope that you enjoy seeing my little pine tree cottage. And like I said, this is a free pattern, and I will have it linked below. I do have cardboard in the bottom of this. She does suggest to do that. The only thing, the only thing that I did different is because I have done her pumpkin cottage a couple weeks ago. I showed the pumpkin cottage by Jaworksi. And this must have been made before the pumpkin cottage, because the door stoop part here was separate. She wanted you to sew that on, and so I kind of followed her directions for the pumpkin cottage door. I didn't do like the bobble stitches. I did her door just the way that she did, except I attached my door stoop the way that she did with her pumpkin cottage instead of sewing it on. And then I did embroider the little candle. She shows you how to do that, and it's really easy in both of the windows. And I did add another thing that I did different is I did add an extra row of chain. How many chains did I do? I think I did 3 chains and then single crocheted in every loop all the way around to add a more frilly or like a bigger trim, because the trim on this was really small. I think that's the only thing that I did different. Everything else was the same as the pattern. Oh no, one more thing. One more thing that I did is in her pattern, I'm losing stuff here. In her pattern, she wants you to make this, it's like a bobble stitch all the way around. She wants you to make that separate and then put it on. But whenever you are crocheting this bottom, you start in like the back loops to work your way up the house. So I just attached that white and did my bobble stitches all the way around in that back loop. And I mean, I'm sure it would have looked a lot better to have done it separate and glued it on or sewed it on or whatever, but I think it turned out fine and I didn't have to sew it, so that was a plus as well. This bottom piece and this top piece are separate, but it's very, very easy to sew together because you literally go through loop by loop. Like you'll take one loop here and one loop here and just weave your yarn through, and it's very easy to sew together. So that is my finished pine tree cottage, and like I said, I hope that you enjoy seeing this because I had a whole lot of fun making this. So I would definitely highly recommend this pattern, and I'm sure that there are more patterns that I will make from this designer in the future because I have really enjoyed making her patterns so far. So I will have it linked below. Now the next thing that I finished is something that I posted on my stories, and it was a picture of something, and I asked you all to guess, and a lot of you guessed Gingerbread Man. Well, I do have to say that you were very, very close, right on the money, but it is a gingerbread girl. But still, it is a gingerbread, yeah, so you all were very, very close, and I am so in love with this. I absolutely love it so much. I received some Happy Mail that I did not do a video on. It was kind of like an anonymous Happy Mail. But I got some Crochet World magazines in this particular Happy Mail from someone. And this is one of the Crochet World magazines that I received. And it is December of 2008. I really like that gingerbread doily on the front, but it would definitely take a long time to make that. I think you have to make like 20 of these gingerbread men and girls. But anyway, I did get this pattern out of this book, and I want magazine, and I want to show you what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. It is called the Ginny Gingerbread Doll, and this pattern is by Jocelyn, Sass. But this is what it looks like in the magazine. So she is not very cute. I mean, she's really cute, don't get me wrong, but I don't really care for her face. I thought her face was a little plain, but I really, really loved her dress and the way that she was dressed up. I didn't make her little gingerbread doll. I may eventually do that because I do think that it's really, really cute too, and I don't think that it would be a very time-consuming project to make that. But she was very time-consuming because she is very big. She's a bigger project. Let's see, she's supposed to be, I wonder if it's 16 inches tall. I did not measure her, so I don't know how tall she is. But obviously, I took that pattern and I changed the colors of it. I wanted it to look more Christmassy. So I used a 4mm hook on her, and I think it called for a 3, what did it call for? Oh my this? A 3.75 millimeter, and then it does call for a G hook for something, but I can't remember what it was. But I used my 4 millimeter hook, and I kind of wish that I had went down a little bit smaller. But the only hooks that I have is, I mean, I have other hooks, but my clovers are the ones that I prefer to use. And I have a 4, and then I go all the way down to a 3.25. So I do need to invest in a little bit in some of the different 3 millimeter hooks that they have, like a 3.75, because when you make this girl, the dress is separate, so you could actually make it to where this dress comes off. But I thought, okay, well, I will save myself from having to make the dress separate, and I will just attach the skirt in the front loops. But when I tried to do that, you can see my stuffing really bad, which obviously this yarn is a little bit thinner. I guess I should tell you what I used. I'm all over the place today. So I used, like I said, a 4 millimeter hook. I used the Red Heart Ogo in the color Cafe Latte. And then I used the Red Heart Holiday in the color Red Red. And then the Red Heart Holiday in the color Green Green. And then that's it. Yes, that's it. So those are the colors that I used. And I did put a big old bow on the back of her dress. And I did make a bow for her head. So, whenever I seen this pattern, I was like, I really want to make that, but I don't like the way that her face looks. And so whenever I was reading through the pattern, I noticed, I thought that the icing was crocheted, but it's actually this rickrack right here, and this is the iridescent. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't see. It's too, but it does have like a sparkle in it. I don't think it's going to show up, but this one is the iridescent. It's not just white. It has a little bit of a sheen or a sparkle to it, and it's really pretty in person. But I had never heard of this before, and this pattern called for this rickrack, and I googled it, and it said that Walmart sold it. So I went to Walmart, and I was digging through boxes that they had on the top shelf, because they had not stocked it. It was just on the main top to where they needed to stock it. And I found this iridescent, so this is what I got. The iridescent was like $3, I think, but the plain white was only like $2. I'm thinking that this is used in sewing or something. I had never heard of this. I have no idea what you use this for. I'm sure it's some sort of trim or something, but I really like it, and it worked out great. I did mess up when I was putting it on. I should have started in the front of her face and worked my way around to the back of the head, because the back of the head is like super straight, but then somehow I started going up. So I did, she does have like a ribbon bow in this picture of her, but I just crocheted her a bow. And let me see if I can find my notes. Okay. So in this pattern, they want you to chain 1 when you're making the body. They want you to chain 1 at the beginning of every round and then slip stitch back, and do all that. But I never do that. I never do a chain 1. I just do a continuous single crochet spiral all the way around. Just use my stitch marker to mark my last stitch. It keeps you from having a seam or anything. So I did not do the chain 1. It also wanted you to start the top of the head different, and also the bottom of the hands. It wanted you to start in like a chain and work your way around the chain, I guess, to give it more of a flat head. And it gave you like a stitch count of 12. So I did start with the magic ring of 6, and then I increased to 12, and then I started doing the pattern like that it said. So that is something that I did different. sometimes on certain rows the increases were different than normal. Instead of like 2 single crochet increase, it would be different. It was different, but so you kind of had to pay attention to what you were doing, but it worked out great. It was very easy to follow. It was not hard to follow. It just made you have to pay attention a little bit more to the pattern, which was fine because I really enjoyed making this. Now on this small bow right here, I started with a chain of 13, and then I did half double crochets back into that chain, so I had 12 half doubles, and then I did 3 rows of that, and then I attached this green and did a single crochet, chain 3 in every stitch all the way around. And I started that green in the middle, so after I went all the way around my piece, which was like a rectangle, I ended in the middle so that I could take my yarn tail and wrap it around the middle to make it into a bow. Now for the back one, which was actually the first one that I made this one to go on her head, and it was way too big, obviously, so I had to redo it. But the first one I did a chain of 30, and I did the same exact thing. I did the half doubles for like 4 rows, and then I single crochet chain 3 in every stitch all the way around for the trim here, and then I just wrapped my yarn around the middle. But I ended up just adding this to the back of the dress, so this is not part of the dress. Another thing that I did different was the skirt. I did do the granny stitch. It wanted you to do, I think it was a single crochet and then 2 double crochets in the same stitch all the way around, and then on your next round you would do that same thing into that first single crochet that you made. And I didn't want to. I knew that the granny stitch would work up a little bit easier, so that is what I did. And it does have some holes. Her dress is a little bit more closed. It does have a really pretty texture, but that's okay. I like how it looks. Another thing that I did was I didn't add the sleeves, because as you can see she does have sleeves, but I felt like that I put my rickrack up a little bit too high for the icing for the arm there, so I didn't want to add the sleeves because I was afraid that it would cover that up. I did go back and do like a row of single crochet just to tidy that up. And I did try this dress on my 18-inch doll that I have. It was my daughter's doll, but I did try it on her, and it does fit an 18-inch doll. You would have to adjust your length of the skirt and probably wouldn't be able to do the sleeves, but this dress did fit. And then this collar is just attached into around the top. It's really simple to do. Everything else I think I did the same, besides giving her a smile and some eyelashes, which are probably not the best, but I think that it gives her a little bit more personality. But I'm so happy with this. Like, I'm just so thrilled with this. I do want to mention that even though it is in this magazine, I did find this pattern as a free pattern on Ravelry, and I will have it linked below. I think that you can just download it straight to your I just kicked the camera. You can download it straight to your phone, so you don't have to go out and try to find this magazine. It is available on Ravelry as a free pattern. And like I said, the only thing that I did was just change the colors a little bit. And I just love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. Oh, I'm so happy with her. So, I think that's all my finished objects. Yes, it's all my finished objects. I do have 2 whips. I have 2 blankets that I'm working on. My Christmas blanket and then my blanket for my husband out of the Premier Puzzle yarn. I'm not going to show those in this video because they really just look the same. I have been working on them, but they just don't look much different. So I'll wait until I finish them to show them again. But I am still working on those. But I do have 2 other whips that I started. And then, so this is another magazine that I received in the Happy Meal. And it is the August 2001 Crochet World. And I am doing this dress right here on the front. I have not been able to find this dress as a free pattern or available to download pattern. Somebody on eBay was selling this pattern, like it was took out of a magazine and it was just the paper out of the magazine and they were selling it, and I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to buy that. I wanted to figure out what magazine it was, and I never could figure out what magazine that dress came from. And then I received it in the mail, and it was just the coolest thing ever. I was so excited, but I really wanted to do this dress. I love it. I do have a couple doll dresses that are similar. There is one that I want to do in Christmas colors, but I decided that I would start with her first because she does look a lot simpler and faster to make than the other one, or the other ones. She doesn't have a slip or anything. And I really love this detail at the top. And she does have the ruffles all the way around and all the way down the back of her dress, which is really, really pretty. This pattern is called, let me find it, Fashion Doll Lacy Ruffles. And this is for a 15-inch doll. And I did not get my doll. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go get my doll and put the dress on. So this is called the Fashion Doll Lacy Ruffles, and like I said, it's in the Crochet World August of 2001 magazine, and this is what it's looking like so far. So I haven't done all of the work that I needed to do on it. I just got the main body of the dress done. Now I need to go back and add all my details. So I'm using a 4mm hook. I'm using the Red Heart Ogo yarn in the color Hunter, and then I'm going to be doing the trim in the Big Twist Deep Red. So the main body obviously of the dress will be green, but then if you see on the back here, you have all kinds of front loops left, and that is where your trim will go for the back of the dress. So all those lacy, anywhere that you see white will be red on this dress. So that is what I'm going to be doing, and this is a Fibercraft doll. You can find these on eBay, but they are a vintage doll. Like, they don't sell these in stores anymore, but this is a 15-inch Fibercraft fashion doll. So I'm really excited about her. I don't know if I'll do the ribbon around her waist, but I'm really excited to see what that she looks like. And like I said, this one was just a little bit easier to do at first for my first Christmas dress, and I wanted to do this one first. So yeah, I'm really excited to get some more work on her. So I hope you enjoy seeing her, and make sure I didn't forget to tell you anything. Nope. And now I do have one more work in progress, and I know this video is going to be kind of long, but that's okay. Let's see if I can get it. Dropping stuff. Okay, so this is a pattern here on YouTube. It is by Crochetin with Alana. I did recently find her YouTube channel maybe a month ago or something, and I have just fell in love with her channel. She has all kinds of YouTube tutorials recreating vintage items that she's found, and it's just so much fun to watch. I really, really recommend her channel. But this is called the Christmas Wall or Door Hanger, and like I said, this is a pattern by Crocheting with Alana. It's a little bit twisted at the bottom. So what you do is you make this white strip, and then you thread the red strip through it. So easy to do, and it's so pretty. So hers has, I'm not done with this. This is a work in progress. I'm going to make it look just like hers. But she has, I still have to do like the holly leaves with the berries, and I think they go on every other like cluster looking thing here. And then on the ones, like 2 of them I think, you put jingle bells on them, and then you hang this around your door, or you can hang it on the wall, and it's just a cute little Christmas decoration. The pattern, she calls for a 5.5 millimeter hook, but I'm using a 6 millimeter hook, which doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. It probably just makes mine just a little bit bigger than hers, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with using a hook that you would prefer for a pattern where there's like no gauge. I mean, it would be different if this was a wearable or something, but yeah. So I'm really excited about this. I am using that Red Heart Holiday yarn, and this color is called Aran Gold, and then this one is the Red, which is the same as I used on the Gingerbread Girl, and then the leaves of the holly berries will be in this red, and then the leaves for the holly leaves will be in the green. So I will be using these colors right here on this. So it's going to be real sparkly, and I just need to find, I do have some jingle bells, but they're really small, so I need some bigger ones. I think she calls for 20 millimeter jingle bells, but yeah. So I really am enjoying making this, and I will try to pop up a picture of what this looks like all finished so that you can see it. But I do highly recommend going over and checking out her tutorial. She has all kinds of stuff that I want to make. So this will not be the only thing that I will be making from her. But I'm really excited to finish this. And that's all my finished objects and all of my whips. And I hope that you all enjoyed seeing everything that I have been making. I'm definitely on a Christmas kick now. It started with the pine tree house, and it just kind of spread out. Or no, I started the gingerbread. I started the gingerbread first. Yeah, I started her first, and then I went to the house, and then it just kind of kept spinning out. And I'm really enjoying crocheting for Christmas because it's my favorite time of the year. So I will be making another video right after this showing the new Crochet World magazine and another small finished object that I'm doing. I wanted to add it to this one, but this one is already getting really long. So make sure that you go and check out that video as well. But I will be seeing you all real soon in another video. Bye.